Hi everyone, I'm Zari and welcome back to my channel. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for your support. Today I'll be reviewing and comparing 4 bronzers from Physicians Formula. Right off the bat, I can tell you that this liquid bronzer was my favorite. I love both the shade and the formula. The bronzer contains 12 ml of product. I'm applying the bronzer under my cheekbones and blend it out. I needed a little more product, so I added another layer. It blends effortlessly, doesn't stick to the one spot, doesn't apply patchy, and doesn't leave the makeup underneath. I'm also applying it to my eyelids. I often use bronzer instead of my eyeshadow for everyday makeup because it ties the whole look together and creates a more cohesive, balanced appearance. Next, I'm applying some under my lower lip, on the tip of my nose, and along the bridge of my nose. Then blending everything out. I'm also adding bronzer around the sides of my forehead and blending it in. Then I repeat the same steps on the other side of my face. Now I'm setting my face with powder and applying the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer only to the right side of my face. This way you can clearly see the difference between setting a cream bronzer with a powder bronzer versus leaving it as it is. I'm using a natural hair brush for application. Next up is the second bronzer. The bronzer contains 5.8 grams of product. I didn't like this one quite as much as the first because the shade looked a little too yellow on my skin tone. However, I really enjoyed its creamy, melting texture. I'll be blending it out with the same clean brush I used for the first product. As you can see, I picked out quite a bit of product and now I'm doing my best to blend it out evenly. I'm also taking what I left on the brush and applying it to my eyelids. I'm adding some to the tip and bridge of my nose as well. Then I apply it to the other side of my face and blend everything out. After setting my face with powder, I applied the powder bronzer to the right side again. And this is how my face looks with the bronzer set with powder on the right side and unset on the left side. Now let's move on to the product number 3. This one includes both a bronzer and a blush. The packaging includes an application guide, so I'll follow that placement for this test. The bronzer contains 5 grams of product. I'm using the same brush as before. It's completely clean and washed from the previous bronzers. The formula feels very emollient and oily, so you need to be a little careful because the stick can lift your foundation. It blends fairly well and doesn't look patchy though. I'm applying it under my cheekbones first. Next I'm applying it to my eyelids and blending it out. Then I repeat the same steps on the other side. I'm also applying it to the tip and bridge of my nose and blending everything out. I decided to add a little more product to my nose. And around the sides of my forehead. Now it's time to test the blush. The blush set also contains 5 grams of product. I found the blush a little more difficult to work with because it lifted some of my foundation. I'm applying it according to the placement guide shown on the packaging and blending it out. I felt like the blush wasn't showing up enough, so I added a little more. This time, I pick up the product with my brush first and then apply it to my face. I found that this method worked much better with the rest of my makeup. After setting my face with powder, I apply the powder bronzer to the right side once again. Here's the final comparison. The right side is set with powder bronzer, while the left side is not. I hope you enjoyed this review and comparison. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!